curious watcher, loyal subscriber. This is Sinister Grave, and I want to personally thank you for watching my channel. For my subscribers, my heart soars as I am grateful for your support and eagerness for my channel to grow. At this point, I have almost 2,000 subscribers. Each and every one of you give me happiness in pursuing opportunities to narrate scary stories. I must also show gratitude towards the people who share their stories with me and their experiences. With that being said, I will do my best to give you what you desire. For now, I have a few strange stories to share with you. Just a few weeks ago, we were on a road trip from British Columbia to San Diego. We came upon a campsite just outside of Crescent City. We drove through. One side of the campground was relatively empty, though I noticed a few scattered tents, but nobody close to the location that we ended up picking. We had tons of space. We wanted an early night, so I started a fire while my girlfriend started cooking. We ate, we had a few beers, and we climbed up on our rooftop tent with our dog by 9 p.m. I had a rough time sleeping, and I woke up a few times, but finally fell into a decent sleep. In the pitch dark, with all of our tent windows and canvases closed, I was awoke at 1 a.m. by someone whistling outside of our tent in the tune of "When the Saints Come Marching In." After a few minutes of this repetitive whistling, I nudged my girlfriend, who awoke and was obviously freaked out as well. The whistling then turned into chanting with phrases like, "When you sleep here, you disrespect me. And when you disrespect me, you disrespect the U.S. Marines." The person would then start spelling out words like F-L-E-E. The verbiage and tone kept getting more aggressive, so we decided to make a move. I slowly unzipped the tent while our guard dog was snoring, and I got my head out of the tent. I took a few seconds to let my eyes adjust and figure out where this person was. I felt more confident once I could see and hear, so I climbed down, and my girlfriend passed me the dog as she climbed down too. While the person was still whistling, we flipped the tent up without securing it and jumped into our truck. We went to a motel in Crescent City for the rest of the night. The next morning, we drove back to get a few of our belongings that weren't in the truck, and a family who had been camping there a few sites down said it went on for another 2 or 3 hours, and that it was the scariest thing that their family has ever experienced. It happened when I was at a hot spring hotel in South Korea with my siblings. Our room got upgraded to a suite with a tatami room, a double bedroom, a balcony, dining area, and a kitchenette. As we were on the 4th floor, we could see the rice fields from the balcony. It was a beautiful view. However, the moment I walked into the room, I had an uneasy feeling that made the hairs on my arms stand up. I attribute this to the air conditioning at first. But around midnight, when my siblings and I were midway through a pillow fight in the tatami room, we heard knocking. There was no one else in the suite with us. Feeling creeped out, we decided to stop fooling around and sleep huddled together in the tatami room. That was when we heard the tapping from the glass doors on the balcony. It was the unmistakable taps of nails on glass. That was when I remembered that there were no trees or branches near our balcony. We totally freaked out and didn't even dare to walk out to draw the curtains to check. Throughout the whole night, I clutched my jade amulet and I prayed. The next morning, other members of the tour group that we were in, staying on the same floor, mentioned that they had similar experiences and disturbances that night too. But the most notable incident was that of an old lady whose blanket kept getting pulled off of her while she was in bed, and her feet were getting touched while she was asleep. That's the scariest thing ever. I have many stories, but one which stands out happened on the first Saturday of July 2008. Whether the day was before or after July 4th, I don't know, I forgot. I've moved into a castle owned by a widowed old lady who was a friend of mine in order to help her run it. It was open to the public for tours and events. We had a tour where the chaperone of the group of students broke away from his group and wandered down one of the gallery halls. I caught up with him and asked him to return to his group. He stopped in front of the doors connecting the gallery to the ballroom and said, "Watch this." He waved an EMF detector in front of the doors and it went off like crazy. Finally, he joined his group, but the tour ended and we started to close up the castle for the day. An hour or so later, it was just me and the owner. She was on the third floor playing the pipe organ in a room with a balcony overlooking one of the ends of the ballroom. Alongside the long end of the ballroom was a musician's gallery. I was walking along there, approaching the door at the end which led to my apartment, when I heard someone call my name from nearby. I turned, and there was no one there. I went to the organ loft and asked the owner if she called me, and she said no. But she did hear something down in the bar. When I went down to check, I didn't find anything. Then I went to the doors connecting the gallery. When I opened them, there was a blast of hot, static air rushing in, even though we had closed the windows and doors. I called the owner down and she approached via the gallery, and her hair started to lift off of her head. She said that there was something here which ought to not be here. Entering the ballroom, she walked into the middle of the room, looked up at one of the large stained glass windows, closed her eyes and said, "Show me your face." She jumped back and she said she had seen something sinister. She again closed her eyes, pushed her hands forward and said, "Get out of my house." Her hands strained against something I could not see, and she pushed forward. She was leaning about 45 degrees on the tip of her toes. Suddenly, there was a loud bang from behind me and another stream of hot, staticky air. The owner fell forward onto the ground and got up and said, "It's gone." However, for the remainder of the evening, we heard laughing, whispering, knocking, tapping, footsteps and echoes throughout the castle. I contemplated leaving that night, but remained for a couple of years. I guess it was worth it because I'm still breathing and feeling fine. Or do I? Thank you for watching my video. Like and subscribe to join my sinister family. I will be posting weekly content, and on that note, I hope you have a good day and a sinister night.